When you feel like giving up, watch this. Have you ever been at that point where everything feels like it's closing in? It's like life is testing you, putting you through fires you never asked to face. You feel like your energy is drained, like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. And the temptation to just give up is so powerful that it almost seems like the only logical choice. But here's the thing, every single hardship, every obstacle that feels insurmountable is not just here to break you down. It's here to build you up in ways you never thought possible. Think of the strongest people you admire, the ones who seem unshakable. Do you think they were always that strong? No. They became that way through a relentless series of challenges that forced them to dig deep, to discover a resilience they never imagined they had. They hit rock bottom, too. They felt lost, defeated, and uncertain. But they found a way to keep going, and in doing so, they built an inner strength layer by layer that made them who they are today. This strength isn't born from easy times. It's crafted in the darkest hours, when every fiber of your being wants to surrender. When you face those moments where giving up seems so easy, remember this, you're not alone. Every successful person, every inspiring story, starts with that moment of doubt, that breaking point where it feels like there's no hope left. But the truth is, right at that breaking point, something incredible begins to happen. That's the moment you start to see things differently. That's where you realize that it's not the world trying to defeat you, but an opportunity to uncover your potential, to rise above, to redefine what's possible for you. Let's talk about growth and transformation. These aren't just buzzwords. They're real experiences that often come disguised as pain, struggle, and heartbreak. Transformation happens when you're pushed so far out of your comfort zone that you can't even recognize the life you used to have. And that's okay, because sometimes losing that old comfort, that old self, is exactly what you need to step into the next level of your life. Growth feels uncomfortable. It's supposed to. Growth is the reason a seed has to break open in the soil, surrounded by darkness, to become a tree. You're that seed right now. Everything around you might feel like pressure, but that's the process that turns potential into power. So what can you do when you're in the midst of that darkness, when it feels like nothing is going your way? Start by accepting it. Accept that sometimes, things don't make sense. Life isn't always fair, and things don't always go as planned. But it's in that acceptance that you start to reclaim your power. Accept the struggle, and remind yourself that you're here, breathing, and capable of handling whatever comes next. Remind yourself that every breath you take is proof that you're still in this fight, that you haven't been defeated. And while you're at it, remember to look back at everything you've already overcome. Think about the battles you thought you'd never survive, but did. Look at the scars you carry, both inside and out, as reminders of the strength that has brought you this far. Those scars aren't weaknesses. They're badges of honor, symbols of resilience, proof that you've already endured so much. If you could make it through those moments, why not this one? Every difficult experience you face has a lesson hidden within it. Every failure is a teacher, showing you something about yourself, your limits, and your abilities. Don't ignore these lessons. Absorb them, learn from them, and allow them to fuel you. Because each lesson makes you stronger, each setback teaches you something valuable, each hardship brings you one step closer to becoming who you're meant to be. In the end, your struggles shape you, mold you, and prepare you for a future you may not see right now, but one that is filled with potential. Remember, you don't need to see the entire path ahead to take the first step. Just keep moving forward, even if it's a slow, painful crawl. Each step you take brings you closer to breaking through, closer to seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Keep pushing, keep fighting, and keep believing. Because what lies on the other side of the struggle is a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you ever imagined. So don't stop now. Don't let this moment of hardship define you. Let it empower you. Let it remind you of the incredible strength that lies within you. You're capable of more than you think. Hold on, trust the process, and remember, this is not the end. It's only the beginning.
Make today your best day yet. Today is not just another day. It's a brand new beginning. Imagine waking up to a clean slate, a fresh 24 hours filled with untapped potential. This isn't a mere continuation of yesterday or a prelude to tomorrow. It's a single day that stands alone with a purpose. Every moment within these hours is yours to mold, yours to build, and it's unlike any other time that has come before or will come after. So, what will you do with this gift of time? Will you waste it, tangled in regrets or distractions, or will you grasp it with both hands, shaping it into something meaningful and powerful? Think of each hour, each minute, as a building block in the architecture of your life. If you want to construct something great, something that withstands time and challenges, you have to start by laying down each brick with intention and care. The magic doesn't lie in waiting for a single moment of drastic change. The magic is in the small, consistent actions you choose to take every day. You may not see the walls rise or the rooms take shape immediately, but with every decision made, with each bit of effort given, you're building something substantial. And one day, you'll step back and marvel at what you've created. It's easy to let a day slip away in distractions or to be swayed by the minor discomforts of life. But consider this: the person you'll be tomorrow, next year, or a decade from now is shaped by what you do today. You are the sum of your habits, your actions, and your choices. If you fill your day with excuses, fears, or complacency, your future will reflect that. But if you fill it with courage, diligence, and passion, the future you're constructing will be one of strength, resilience, and fulfillment. Imagine you have two paths before you. One is easy, smooth, and filled with short-lived pleasures. The other is rocky, demanding, and often uncomfortable. The first one gives you instant gratification, but leaves little behind once it's over. The second path, however, is where you build skills, develop patience, and cultivate character. It's where you put in the work that no one sees, where you sacrifice a bit of comfort now to create a lasting foundation for later. This harder path might not show immediate results, but it's the one that rewards you in ways that the easy path never will. The clock is ticking, and each tick is an invitation to do something that matters. Are you choosing your actions wisely? Are you moving toward something meaningful? Every time you take on a challenge, every time you push beyond what's comfortable, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more. Small victories compound. Tiny wins add up. It's not about winning big in a single moment, but winning little by little so that over time, you can look back and see how far you've come. Your life is not just happening to you. You are actively shaping it with each decision. Realize the power in this. Realize that with discipline, with courage, with the relentless pursuit of your goals, you can craft a life that others might only dream of. This doesn't mean it's easy, nor does it mean that you'll never face setbacks. But each challenge is an opportunity to rise, to become more than you were yesterday. So today, don't take your time for granted. Approach it with the reverence it deserves. Set aside distractions and focus on what truly matters. Every bit of progress you make, every small action you take toward your goals, is a deposit into your future. Build it well and build it wisely, because at the end of the day, when the sun sets, you'll know that you spent it building something meaningful. Brick by brick, hour by hour, decision by decision. Let today be the day you start constructing your dreams, knowing that every choice matters. Take that first step and then the next, until one day you realize you've built something bigger than you ever imagined. You weren't born to be ordinary. Stop for a second and think. Were you made to be ordinary? To just fit in, follow the path most traveled, and settle for a life without real challenges, without growth? The answer is a resounding no. No one is born to simply be like everyone else, blending in with the crowd. Each one of us holds something unique and irreplaceable that the world needs. Every dream, every ambition, every spark that ignites your soul exists for a reason, and it's meant to be shared, not hidden away. We are often told to play it safe, to choose the path that guarantees stability. But think about it, greatness never came from comfort zones. When you try to mold yourself into a version that others expect, something inside of you dims. Your light, that inner drive, that passion, it fades. Fitting in feels safe, but it's not where you belong. You were meant to stand out, to make waves, to defy expectations, and to create a life that is unmistakably your own. Imagine for a moment a world where everyone played it safe, where no one dared to challenge the norm or push boundaries. Think of the groundbreaking inventions, the art that stirs souls, the stories that change lives. None of it would exist if people settled for the predictable and the mundane. Every innovation, every step forward in history happened because someone believed in their unique vision and chose to act on it, regardless of the obstacles. So why do so many of us feel the need to blend in, to be like everyone else? Maybe it's fear of standing out, fear of criticism, fear of failure. But remember this, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every setback is a lesson, every stumble a stepping stone. If you look closely, you'll see that even the most successful people have faced countless failures. But they didn't stop. They kept pushing forward, learning, growing, and evolving. They embraced the challenges, knowing that every hurdle was a part of their unique story. It's time to stop dimming your light. Stop trying to shrink yourself to fit into places that were never meant for you. You have something special, something that no one else in this world can offer. Embrace your potential fully, because being different is not just okay. It's incredible. It's what makes you unforgettable. Your journey, with all its twists and turns, has the power to inspire others, to show them that it's okay to be themselves, to chase after what they truly want. Waiting for the perfect moment is like waiting for rain in a drought. It rarely comes when you expect it. The perfect moment is a myth, an illusion that holds you back from taking action. If you keep waiting, you'll miss out on the opportunities that are right in front of you. Start now. Take that first step, no matter how small it may seem. The world needs your light, your ideas, your voice. Don't keep it hidden. You may not realize it, but every person you meet, every interaction you have, has the potential to create a ripple effect. When you step into your power, when you show the world what you're capable of, you inspire others to do the same. Your courage gives others permission to be courageous. Your success becomes a beacon, lighting the way for those who are too afraid to take that first step. By embracing who you are and living your truth, you can ignite change in ways you may never fully understand. This life is a gift, and it's meant to be lived to the fullest. Don't settle for anything less than extraordinary. Push past your fears, challenge yourself, and watch as your world transforms. You are not meant to live a life of quiet mediocrity. You are here to make an impact. Trust in yourself, believe in your journey, and know that every step you take brings you closer to the life you were always meant to live. Take a deep breath, let go of the doubts, and step forward with confidence. Your journey begins now. Go out there and show the world what you're made of. Not only will you change your own life, but you'll become a source of inspiration for countless others who need that reminder to never settle for less. The strength to keep going when things get hard. Have you ever felt exhausted? So worn down that even lifting your head feels like a monumental task? Have you ever had that lingering thought, creeping in your mind, whispering, "Nothing is worth it"? This is the point where most people give up. This is the moment when so many let go of their dreams, turn away from their passions, and resign themselves to a life that doesn't fulfill them. But it's at this very moment, when you feel like there's nothing left to give, that you have to keep going. Because, believe it or not, these low points, these struggles, are part of the journey. They're the proving grounds of resilience, the tests that build character, and the crucible where true strength is forged. Think back to a time in your life when you faced a challenge and thought you wouldn't make it through. Maybe it was a personal struggle, a difficult project, or a dream that seemed just out of reach. In that moment, you might have doubted yourself, but you pushed through. You gathered every ounce of strength you had and kept moving forward, even when everything felt impossible. And look at you now. You made it. That's right. The strength to win is inside you. It's been there all along. just waiting for its moment to shine. It's not in the first step or the second. It's in all those small steps that seem insignificant, but ultimately carry you forward. When things get tough, it's easy to think that success should be immediate, that if we don't achieve our dreams right away, maybe they weren't meant for us. But success is rarely sudden. It's not a single moment, a flash of glory, or a single victory. It's the accumulation of all the effort, all the late nights, the early mornings, and the times when you push yourself even though every fiber of your being was telling you to quit. Each of those moments adds up, creating a foundation, a path, and a journey that's uniquely yours. You see, the journey of life isn't about never falling down. It's about having the courage to get back up time and time again. It's not about being the strongest or the fastest, but about being persistent, relentless, and dedicated to your path. Because the world isn't opened up by those who give up. It opens for those who dared not to quit. For those who kept going even when everything seemed to be working against them. Imagine climbing a mountain. Each step is tough, each climb exhausting, and sometimes you can't even see the peak. But step by step, inch by inch, you keep going. The terrain is rough, the air is thin, and your muscles are aching. But as you keep going, something incredible happens. You realize that every step you take brings you closer to the top, even if you can't see it yet. And one day, you'll look up and the summit will be in sight, closer than you ever thought possible. Remember, the path to greatness is often a lonely one, filled with obstacles, doubts, and fears. People may not always understand why you're doing what you're doing. They might question your motives, doubt your abilities, or even laugh at your dreams. But none of that matters. What matters is your vision, your determination, and your willingness to continue, even when the road seems impossible. In moments of darkness, remind yourself of your why. Why did you start this journey? What do you hope to achieve? Think of the people you want to inspire, the lives you want to touch, and the legacy you want to leave behind. Keep those thoughts close, and let them fuel you on days when everything feels heavy. Let them remind you that your path, as challenging as it may be, is leading you somewhere meaningful, somewhere significant. You have a fire within you, a spark that no one else possesses. That fire can't be dimmed by momentary setbacks or temporary hardships. It's a flame that burns brightest in the darkest of times, a light that will guide you through even the roughest storms. And while it may flicker, while it may grow faint, it will never go out as long as you keep moving forward. So, when the going gets tough and you feel like quitting, remember that you're not alone. Every person who has achieved greatness has felt this way. Every dreamer, every leader, every individual who has made a difference in the world has faced moments of doubt, moments where giving up seemed easier. But they didn't. They chose to keep going, to press on, and to turn their pain into power. You have that same power. You have that same potential to rise, to overcome, and to succeed. Don't let temporary hardships make you forget your long-term goals. Don't let fleeting setbacks define your journey. Keep going, because every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward the life you've always envisioned. This world needs people like you. People who don't quit. People who don't let setbacks hold them back. People who see challenges not as barriers, but as opportunities to grow. Be that person who inspires others, who shows them that it's possible to keep going even when the path is hard. Be the example of resilient strength and unwavering determination. The power of persistence. Everyone admires a winner, but few truly understand what lies behind that victory. We see the applause, the accolades, and the moments of triumph. But what about the unseen sacrifices, the sleepless nights, the countless moments of doubt? Winning doesn't just happen. It's built on a foundation of persistence, on days when giving up would have been easier, on nights when the weight of fear and failure seemed too much to bear. Those who succeed are not necessarily the strongest, the smartest, or the fastest. They're the ones who simply refuse to give up. They're the ones who choose to rise every time they fall, who believe in their vision and fight for it with every fiber of their being, regardless of the obstacles that stand in their way. Think about it. Every great success story you've ever heard has its roots in persistence. It's the common thread that connects every achiever, every innovator, every world changer. They didn't wait for the right moment, the perfect set of circumstances, or an easy path. They took what they had and made it work. They stumbled, they failed, they struggled. But each time they got back up, because they understood that progress is not a straight line. It's a journey with twists and turns, highs and lows. And with each setback, they grew stronger, wiser, more determined. Persistence is more than just a trait. It's a mindset. It's the understanding that every fall is a lesson, every failure an opportunity to grow. When you embrace persistence, you stop fearing failure because you see it for what it truly is, a stepping stone, a building block on the path to success. Winners know that setbacks are inevitable, but quitting is a choice. They know that every time they rise after a fall, they're one step closer to their goal. Every time they push through the doubts, the fears, and the hardships, they're proving to themselves and to the world that they deserve the success they seek. You see, persistence is about creating your own luck. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, putting in the hours, even when no one is watching, even when there's no immediate reward. It's about believing in yourself and your dreams so fiercely that nothing can shake you. It's about proving, time and time again, that you're willing to do whatever it takes to reach your goals. When you persist, you're not just working toward your dreams. You're proving to yourself and to the world that you're capable of greatness. Imagine a sculptor working on a block of marble. At first, it's just a rough, shapeless stone. But with each strike of the chisel, with each careful touch, something beautiful begins to emerge. It takes time, patience, and an unwavering vision. The sculptor can't see the final form immediately, but they have faith in the process. They know that with every cut, they're revealing something extraordinary. In the same way, every effort you make, every challenge you overcome, every time you choose persistence over giving up, you're chiseling away at the obstacles between you and your dreams. It's easy to admire the final masterpiece, to applaud the end result, but it's the journey, the daily grind, the persistent effort that truly shapes us. Each time you fall and get back up, each time you face your fears and keep going, you're building the foundation for something incredible. Success isn't about luck or talent alone. It's about resilience, commitment, and the courage to keep moving forward, even when the path isn't clear. Remember, persistence isn't about never facing setbacks. It's about how you respond to them. Life will test you. It will throw challenges in your way, obstacles that seem insurmountable, situations that feel impossible. But every time you choose to rise above those challenges, every time you choose to keep going despite the odds, you're becoming stronger. You're showing the world that you're not just a dreamer. You're a doer, someone who is willing to fight for their dreams, no matter what. So don't give up now. Even if the road ahead seems long, even if the journey feels difficult, remember that every step you take, every moment of persistence, brings you closer to your goal. You're not just building a future. You're building character, strength, and resilience. And these are the qualities that will sustain you, not just in this journey, but in every challenge you face. Your victory is only a matter of time. Keep going, keep believing, because the ones who reach the top aren't necessarily the most talented or the most gifted. They're the ones who refuse to give up, who held on to their dreams with unwavering conviction. Victory isn't about avoiding failure. It's about rising above it. And if you keep going, if you stay persistent, you will reach the success you've been working so hard for. You're stronger than you think. Imagine that moment when it feels like everything is against you, the weight on your shoulders, the feeling that nothing is working, and it seems impossible to keep going. But what if I told you there's a much greater strength within you than you realize? Something that can lift you up, when everything else is pulling you down. Today, I'm going to show you that you're much stronger than you think. And that strength, it's closer than you imagine. We've all been through times of weakness, insecurity, fear, and despair. Times when doubt takes over, and it feels like there's no way out. This can happen in different areas of life. Family problems, financial hardships, misunderstandings at work, personal challenges. It's in these moments that our mind begins to create a negative story, making us believe we are weak, insufficient, incapable. But the truth is, even when you feel at your lowest point, there's an untapped capacity within you, something you may not have fully accessed yet. And that's the strength we're talking about today. That strength can transform your toughest days and help you realize just how truly powerful you are. Modern society teaches us that we are defined by our visible successes and failures. We're programmed to see success as the opposite of failure and strength as an unwavering, obvious quality. But real strength isn't always what it seems. Being strong doesn't mean never feeling fear, never failing, or never wanting to give up. Real strength is actually about how we handle those moments, feeling every emotion intensely, and still choosing to keep going. Our minds create limiting stories all the time. It tells you that you can't do it, that you're not capable, that it's too much for you. These stories become so convincing that we start to believe them as absolute truths. But the truth is, these narratives are only a fraction of our reality, and most of the time they aren't even true. Our strength isn't measured by the absence of challenges, but by our ability to overcome them, time and time again, even when we don't believe in ourselves. Now that we know these limiting beliefs aren't absolute truths, let's focus on something essential. Where to find that inner strength. The truth is that your strength is not out there, in some magic solution, quick answer, or external advice. It's within you. Somewhere deep within you, there's a powerful strength waiting to be unlocked. This strength shows up when you make difficult choices, when you face your insecurities, when you face your fears. It appears when you allow yourself to fail, to learn from mistakes, and when you understand that failure is part of the process. In other words, your strength is in every moment when you choose to get up after a fall, in every choice to persist when everything seems to be falling apart. To show you how this inner strength works, let's look at some inspiring stories. Think of people like Oprah Winfrey, who was born in extreme poverty and endured countless abuses, but overcame it all to become one of the most influential women in the world. Or J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter while struggling with deep depression and severe financial difficulties. These people weren't strong in the conventional sense, but they chose, nonetheless, to keep going. Their strength came from vulnerability, from acknowledging their limitations, and at the same time, from a firm decision not to let their circumstances define their destinies. Each of us has the potential to find inspiration in these examples and realize that, with time and persistence, we can overcome challenges, no matter how impossible they seem. Now, you might be wondering, how do I access this strength? Let's explore some simple but incredibly powerful practices that can help you find and develop your inner strength. 1. Practice self-knowledge. Spending time with yourself, reflecting on your thoughts, feelings, and attitudes, is essential to accessing your strength. Self-knowledge allows you to identify limiting patterns and understand how your past experiences influence how you face challenges. Take daily moments to listen to yourself, to understand who you are without others' expectations. Write down your thoughts, insecurities, and desires. This process of self-understanding is key to realizing that your limitations are just stories you created. 2. Visualization and mental reprogramming. Visualize what you want to achieve. Picture yourself overcoming your battles, facing your fears. Studies show that visualization has a real impact on our brains, activating the same areas that are stimulated when we actually perform an action. Start small. Visualize a challenging day and imagine yourself responding calmly and positively. Picture every detail, every reaction. Gradually, this practice rewires your mind to believe that you are capable of handling challenges. 3. Accept your emotions without judgment. Instead of trying to ignore or suppress negative emotions, embrace them. Allow yourself to feel fear, sadness, anger, but also choose not to hold on to them. Feel them, process them, and then let them go. Accepting your emotions is an act of strength in itself, as it allows you to understand that you are human, with highs and lows. The more you accept your emotions, the more you can move forward, even with pain and uncertainty. 4. Build a growth mindset. Many people believe that our skills and qualities are unchangeable. This type of thinking creates a fixed mindset, which limits us and prevents us from seeing possibilities. Embrace a growth mindset. The idea that everything can be improved and developed with effort. This means understanding that even when something seems impossible today, you can still grow, learn, and become stronger. In the end, strength isn't something you simply have or don't have. It's something you build, a daily decision, a commitment to yourself to keep going, even if it's just a little bit each day. This strength is present in small choices. Waking up and taking the first step, trying one more time, facing fear head-on, even when it seems enormous. If you can do this, if you can persist a little more each day, you'll begin to realize that the impossible starts to seem a little more achievable. Remember, you are stronger than you think. Every time life tests you, know that within you there's a strength greater than any obstacle. Every difficult moment is an opportunity to discover a bit more of your resilience. If this video touched you, share it with someone you know who needs to hear this message, and subscribe for more content that will remind you just how powerful you are.